Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Sisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, reviewing the Raptors last 2 weeks, there's certain things that the Raptors are doing well and certain things that they're not doing well. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So let's talk about the offense first. It seems like the offense is doing better. There's more ball movement. There is more assists that the Raptors are doing. The Raptors are offensively effective in most of the game. They do struggle in patches, but overall it's looking good. There's contribution coming from everybody. But that's something that's, again, becoming a little bit of the issue because in late game execution, it turns into a one-on-one thing again, like you used to with Nick Nurse, because we don't know who exactly will be the one taking care, be the primary weapon. And I think that's also hurting Scottie Barnes' progress because it seems like there's too many hands in the cookie jar. His 3-point shot is coming along, but it seems like he's still trying to figure out when he needs to be aggressive, when he doesn't need to be aggressive. And if there's less options available, I'm not saying better, less people who are required to get touches, Scottie would be getting those touches and he'll be getting more consistent, more, learning with the experience. And in order for the Raptors to succeed, he should be the one who the Raptors are backing as the next franchise player. And then there's Gary Trent Jr. It seems like whenever Gary Trent Jr. comes off of the bench, he tends to struggle, especially with his 3-point shot. But when he starts, I think he got one start. He did better in that game. So it seems like, there's players that are not really fitting the roles that the Raptors are trying to force on them. And that can become an issue later on for the Raptors. Pascal, again, some games he's a superstar, some games he's very, very average, and that's something that we're used to. But given the contract that he's looking at in the future, the Raptors have to figure out certain things. And on the offensive end, it seems like whenever OG Anunoby comes back into the team, he doesn't miss a beat. But the Raptors overall in the offensive, it seems like it's a lot more of a ball movement oriented, everybody gets to eat type of offense, which is what which is what the Raptors and what basketball should be about. But like I said, you do need closers in the end of the game execution, and that's something that the Raptors are currently missing. Now to the defensive end. So the defensive end, it seems like the Raptors have taken a slight step back. Teams are getting more points per game compared to what they used to get against the Raptors. That might have to do with a new coach, new schemes, and more focus on the offensive ball movement. But I think it also has to do with the fact that OG Anunoby is not consistently in the team due to his injuries, and that breaks the rhythm between the team, especially on the defensive end. And he's a very big part of it. His defense has taken a step back a little bit. That might have to do with the injury. That might have to do with not playing the games as consistently as he should be. But there's some concern there, and especially same thing with the point guard position. The Raptors, whenever we play taller point guards, they seem to take advantage of it at our on the defensive end. You can't put OG Anunoby on everybody. You can't put Scottie Barnes on everybody. So that's one thing. And same thing with the foul shots. The Raptors are struggling. They keep fouling people like Pascal, Chris Boucher, and that causes them to go to the bench and breaks off the schemes that the coach might have for the players. So defensively, the Raptors have taken a slight step back, but I don't think it's a major issue. Now, overall, if we talk about what the Raptors are doing, they're doing well in regards to beating the teams we should be beating. They just destroyed Detroit 142-113, and they hung in there against good teams. They won some of those games, they lost some of those games, but at least they were competitive. So that tells you that we have taken that step, because last year we sucked against good teams and even against bad teams. So the Raptors are doing well in that regard. But for the Raptors to take that next step, there's a few things that the Raptors really need to figure out. One is their rotation. It seems like with OG and Anunoby coming in and out, there's a level of lack of comfort between the players, because some days it will be Gary Trent, some days it will be OG, and then it throws off their rhythm, right? So the Raptors really need to figure out who needs to stay where. Then the next part is that the Raptors seems like there's too many same type of players that are playing in the starting lineup, which is becoming an issue, because you see when Gary is in the starting lineup, there's a lot more fluency to the offense because he's a scoring threat. Whereas, Pascal needs some help, OG needs there some help, because even with their dribbling, their one-on-one isn't that great. So they do need that assistant. And Jakob is not really an offensive player unless you do complete focus on pick and roll with him. So the Raptors really need to figure out who fits where and who's going to be the primary weapon, because regardless of how much team ball you want to play, there needs to be one guy that's the focus. And is that going to be Pascal, who's shown a lack of consistency? Is that going to be OG Anunoby, who's in and out? Is that Gary Trent Jr., who you don't really believe in because you keep bringing him off the bench? Is that going to be Scotty Barnes, which it should be, who's really improved his three-point shot? So that's some of the decisions that the Raptors are going to have to make, because I think that the Raptors really need to either move on from Pascal or OG Anunoby in order for this team to become more balanced, for the Raptors to set up themselves up for the future, get some assets. And at this time, the fan base is not looking at the Raptors to win a championship. We got to be realistic. If they do, great. If they don't, we want at least for the Raptors to show some sort of forward momentum or progress, because we don't have our pick this year for the 2024 draft. So what are we doing? Are we at least getting to the playoffs? Are we at least taking that next step? And is that next step, or the step that's going to get us to the championship, is that going to be costly? Because Pascal's looking at a lot of money in this offseason. Same thing with OG and Anunoby. So is that something that the Raptors should be paying with the level of inconsistency we're getting in regards to Pascal's points? He's, some games he's 39, some games he's not even 20. And OG being injury prone. So that's a decision. And then the other part is that the Raptors really truly need a backup point guard. It seems like that the Raptors struggle whenever, we don't have that backup point guard where you're getting at least 10 to 12 points, or at least, 6 to 8 assists. Malachi is filling in, but until Marquise Noel comes back or from injury, we don't really have that point guard option, because Malachi, even though decent, at least more improved than last year, hasn't taken that step to the point where you're like, okay, he deserved at least 20 to 25 minutes per game. So that's hurting us in the sense of whenever, unless you want Scotty Barnes to be a secondary point guard, then there's no point in Malachi being on the same, on the floor at the same time, because he's not really an offensive weapon. Then you got to find somebody, like a Gary Trent Jr. or somebody else that can be that offensive weapon who Scotty Barnes can use. So that's where another concern is coming overall for this team. But like I said, the Raptors are doing well. The ball is moving well. The offense is looking like it's getting there, but the in and out of OG Anunoby is causing inconsistencies. And I think the last thing that the Raptors truly need to do overall is get Grady Dick, involved a lot more. I get it, he's a rookie, but you're playing with you're a young team. There's aspirations to win, but the realistic aspirations are that we're a 500 team that makes it to the playoffs, and anything can happen at that point. But you want to develop your young guys, and I don't think Grady Dick is getting enough playtime at this moment to become a more effective offensive weapon. So there's a lot of things that the Raptors truly need to figure out. The only thing, like I said, the positives is that the offense is looking good. But at this time, the trajectory is maybe a 500 team, maybe a play-in team, and given the the competitiveness of this league, we do need to take a few steps that set us up for success in the future. But again, like I said, it's only been a month now. So let's see where this team goes. We lost against Boston in our in-season tournament game. That damn tournament is confusing as shit, but let's hope we continue to make some splashes, make that progress, and figure certain things out. I think Darko is still trying to figure it out, but come on, man, it's been an off season and a month. You need to know which personnel you're going to rely on and how you're going to develop the younger guys. So let's hope the Raptors figure it out. Let's hope we go on a winning streak like any fan base would. But at this time, the trajectory just looks like a 500 team, maybe, as long as we keep beating the bottom feeders of the league. And money issues are going to come into play a lot. That's what I have for you guys for this video. Hope you guys liked the analysis, enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button, comment, and let's keep supporting the Raptors as they are. Anyways, see you guys.